guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a question and answer video. I've been meaning to do this video for quite some time now just because I've gotten to the point where I have almost 6,000 subscribers and a lot of them don't even really know who I am. They just know that I do makeup, which is probably 90% of you that don't know me. So I figured why not do a video that allows me to connect more with my subscribers, because after all, y'all are the reasons why I am so successful, and you just keep pushing me and pushing me to where I need to be. You are definitely my motivation, so I figured why not give y'all the opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself and how this all began. So the first questions that I'm going to be asking are going to be from my computer, so if you see me like constantly glancing over here, I am on YouTube and I am answering all the questions that have been asked on my videos. First questions I'm going to start with are going to be coming from the Morphe 35F palette. That is where I first announced that I was going to be doing this tutorial. So I'm just going to pretty much start from, I'm not really going to go in order. I'm just going to start with the basics. So my name is Hannah Burt. If you don't know how old I am 24 years old. My birthday is March 5th. I am a Pisces. I'm located about 20 minutes outside of Jackson, Mississippi. I am married, and I've been married to my husband Ryan for about 3 years now. Our anniversary is September 28th, and it will be 3 long years since we've gotten married. However, before that, we dated like a year and a half, and then we got engaged, and then I think I waited like 7 months, and then we got married. So I first met Ryan when I was 17 years old at a drag strip because he likes to race cars. He actually used to do that constantly when he was younger. I met him when he was 20 years old. So he's 27 now. He is 3 years older than me. And the drag strip was in Byram, which is about 35 minutes. Actually, it's like 20 minutes away from Jackson, south. And it's so funny because we technically didn't even meet at the drag strip. We saw each other, and come to find out we were already friends on Facebook. And he contacted me, he messaged me, and he said, hey, weren't you at the track Saturday night? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want to go with me this Saturday? And I was like, oh my fucking God. Like,
I've been looking at you and you're hot as shit, and yes.
I was thinking, I was like, how the hell did he remember me? This is so fucking crazy. And I didn't even know that we were friends on Facebook. That's the crazy part. But when I was like 16 and 17, I literally had like 3,000 or 4,000 friends on Facebook, and I didn't even know half of them. So I actually am not that surprised. But so yeah, that is where we met. So now that you know the basics, I'm gonna go ahead and start asking these questions. Abigail Pevy says, do you and Ryan want to have kids in the future? If so, what names? I actually do want to have kids in the future, and it's so funny because when I was younger, I always said by the time I was like 22, 23 that I was wanting to have a kid because I wanted to be like a young mom. I always envisioned myself getting married at like 19 or 20, which I actually did get married at 21, which is not, too far off. But I always wanted to be a young mom, and obviously I'm still going to be kind of a young mom, but not like super, super young, because I'm going to be 25 in March. And obviously if I don't get pregnant next year, then I'm going to be like 27 when I have a kid. So I'm thinking about getting pregnant next year, possibly, if everything works out. I was just wanting to wait till I was like really stable with my job, till I had a house. And I always hear that people say you never are truly ready to have a child. It just like happens, and then it just like goes from there. That is true. However, I just really wanted to be stable and know that I'm ready to have a kid, and I wanted to know that Ryan was ready to have a kid. That's why I waited. And I also wanted to be married first and spend time with Ryan and like travel and have fun and do stuff before a kid is involved, because when the baby is here, all of my attention is going to go to that baby. There's not going to be a whole lot of, partying and doing this and that, and you have to think about your kid first before you think about yourself. So I was just trying to get all of that out of my system. But we actually do want a few. I want at least 2 or 3, at least 2, possibly 3. In names, it's funny because we have been actually talking about names recently, and for the boy I want to do Nikolai, and for the girl I've always wanted to do Tristan, which is, I actually got the name from Legends of the Falls, Brad Pitt. His name was Tristan, and Ryan claims that Tristan is a boy name. I think it's a boy or a girl name. But if I can't have my boy name that, then I definitely want to have my girl name that. And I don't know anyone named neither of those, so I thought it'd be cool and different. For the third name, I don't know what it would be. Those have always just been the two like top favorites of mine. La 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 la. So Teresa Johnson said, my question for you: live in Mississippi on the coast. Where in Mississippi do you live? Like I said, I live in Brandon, which is by the reservoir. If you do live in Mississippi, you probably know where Ross Barnett Reservoir is. I'm about 2 seconds from that. Let's see. Sammy May said, question for you. I'm thinking of starting a YouTube beauty channel, and I was wondering how you get started and if you have any tips and tricks. So let me just tell you what worked for me. When I first started my YouTube channel, it was super, super, super hard to gain followers at first. Especially like not having like a ton of Instagram followers. I think I first started and I had like 1,600 Instagram followers. So that was like the only platform that I had to help make myself more known, like on social media. Of course I had Facebook, which that's been excellent. A lot of my videos are posted on Facebook before they're posted on YouTube. But I will just go ahead and tell you, as long as you get to like 500, it's starting to get easier and easier. And then as soon as you get to 1,000, I feel like the subscribers just kind of like roll in. You start to get more popular, you get more views. I also believe the content on your YouTube channel is really important. And I have noticed that more recent things that come out in the makeup industry are very, very popular topics on YouTube. For example, I have yet to do a tutorial on this, but you know, this is a Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I have not done a tutorial on this, but when this first came out, everybody was on YouTube, oh my god, I need a tutorial, how do I do this? I want to see their swatches, their reviews. That's probably the most important thing, is staying up to date with things that are coming out. If you don't follow big makeup companies like, you know, Too Faced, Kat Von D, Urban Decay, I would highly recommend it, because as soon as they release something, you need to buy it. And you need to do a tutorial as soon as it comes in. So I haven't been the greatest at doing that, just because I don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on every single thing that comes out, you know. I don't have that much money to blow. But I have noticed that that is excellent in growing your channel. Also, the quality of the videos are going to be getting you more views. I've noticed that when I first started doing YouTube, obviously you're not going to have all these fucking fancy lights, you're not going to have a fucking good camera, you're probably not going to have a nice area to film, and that's perfectly normal because everyone has to start somewhere. It just so happens that I have this third bedroom in my house that isn't getting anything done to it, and so I just decided to put my vanity in there. And then when I started YouTube, I was like, well, this is a perfect place to start. I've been doing YouTube since January or February this year, and I just got these light boxes, okay? Just got them. I got my camera for Christmas, and I got my Diva ring light for Christmas. That's the only reason why I have decent quality stuff. And I also just purchased a MacBook less than a month ago. I think a month ago. Before that, I was using, you know, a $500 computer. So you all have to start somewhere. Don't ever think that you have to have top of the line stuff in order to start. Don't let it discourage you, because everything does come in time. Don't feel like you have to spend $2,000 right away on stuff, because I definitely didn't. And that is normal. And another tip that I would recommend when you are starting a YouTube channel, just remember to be yourself. Don't try to be like anyone else, because individuality makes a huge difference when you are starting your channel. People are going to gravitate towards you. The more that you're yourself, the more that you can connect with them, if that makes sense. I see girls all the time like using a fake voice, like, okay, so now we're gonna do this, I'm gonna be... Just stop. Just be yourself. That's also another reason why people are gonna watch your channel, is from you expressing your own individuality, which I believe is very important in the makeup industry. Because if everyone is like each other, nobody's going to be interesting and nobody's really going to take you that seriously, you know what I mean? So moving on to the next question. Let's see, Hank Jr. #1 said, you're my favorite to watch in a non-creepy way. My question, how old are you? I'm 24. What are your go-to faves? My go-to faves, I actually have it right here. Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This is my go-to fave foundation for about 4 years now. You already know if you watch my tutorials, I'm obsessed with this and I use it pretty much every day. Another go-to fave of mine is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter Primer. I've been using this for about 3 months now, and it's my favorite primer I've ever used. It offers a lot of luminosity and it just makes my foundation look really, really good. And if you don't wear this, it is a matte foundation. So if you do like matte foundations, obviously you'll love this. But if you like somewhat of a dewy finish, use the primer underneath and it makes a world of difference. Another go-to fave of mine that I've been using for quite some time is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. This is like a gel type cream texture and I have been using this for a long ass time. This is my second one, so I used the first one completely up, which takes literally months to do. I love it. It stays on all day. It offers a good amount of coverage. What else do I love? My favorite highlighter, hands down, has got to be the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. If you are fair, you would really like this color. However, they offer a ton of different shades. So I just noticed that it looks fucking amazing. And I've tried so many highlighters. This one is definitely my go-to. As far as eyeshadows, I have been gravitating a lot towards the Anastasia Beverly Hills and MAC shadows. By the way, sorry, I'm looking in my vanity. If you don't have this palette, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance, fucking get it. Go watch my tutorial if you haven't already and you will understand why. This is another go-to of mine. I use it all the time now. So yeah, that's just a few of my go-tos that I can think of off the top of my head. Let's see, where are you from? I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but my mom is from Louisiana and my dad is from Vicksburg, Mississippi. So I'm technically like from here, but I was born in Florida. My dad was in the Navy and he lived over there with my mom. Got pregnant with me and my brother, and then they eventually moved back to Louisiana, which is where I used to live, and then we moved here in Mississippi. So someone said, let's see, Chloe, oh, I don't want to butcher your last name, Gutierrez? I wish I had the last name. What made you start a YouTube? So what made me start a YouTube was, it's always been in the back of my mind, but I've never had like the drive and ambition to actually want to get out there and put myself out there for the fucking world to see and start my own channel. It was honestly something just one day lit a fire under my ass and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, because I watched YouTube all the time before I started my own channel. I was constantly on it. I got so much advice from watching YouTube. It honestly helped me. Like, that's where I learned probably like 30 to 40% of the stuff that I know right now is from YouTube and different makeup gurus. It almost sounds like euros. And also another reason why I started it was because I used to get so many questions on like how to do this, what do you recommend for that, do you have any tips on blah blah blah. And I was just like, why don't I just like make a YouTube channel and I can do tutorials and I can actually explain all of these questions that people are wanting to know. Even people that probably don't ask me questions are still probably wanting to know. So that is why I created a YouTube channel. What is your favorite eyeshadow palette? From Lisa Blankenship. I just showed you. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. And I'm just going to show you the color real fast. The colors are freaking beautiful. Nice, nice, nice pigments in there. They wear very well. They don't fade throughout the day. That is my favorite eyeshadow palette currently right now. Someone said, what gave you inspiration to start YouTube? I just answered that. So Shady Love said, I've been meaning to ask if you have any suggestions on how to get subscribers. So you want to kind of make yourself known, like I said, on Instagram and Facebook. If you have business cards, like if you are a professional makeup artist and if you have business cards, be sure to list your YouTube name and channel and all that down below. Also, I noticed another thing that gets me subscribers is constantly being in YouTube feed, which means constantly keeping up to date on stuff, like I said earlier, and constantly putting out more content. At least 1 to 2 times a week is what I try to do. Sometimes I don't do that in case I'm like really busy or something, but I always try to at least do 1 to 2 videos a week just to stay in the YouTube feed. Somebody said, what do you do with your lashes after you use them? Do you clean and reuse them? How do you clean them? So you technically don't clean your lashes. All you have to do is tear off the glue after it's dried, like after you take it off and you see like the gunk or whatever, the black or whatever. I honestly just strip it off and then pop them right back on again. And yes, I do reuse them. I never have bought a pair of lashes that I throw away. Definitely don't throw them away. They can be worn up to like 20 times. But yes, I do reuse them. Jessica Taylor said, how did you get started in makeup, and are you self-taught or did you go to school? I am self-taught. I did not go to a makeup school. I did go to cosmetology school. However, they didn't teach me shit about makeup. They just taught me about hair. So yeah, I would have to say I am self-taught. As you know, I do work. I didn't even fucking tell y'all, dude. This is like one of the most important questions. I do work for Mac. I'm a third key. I've been there. January will be 3 years that I've been there. I've been the third key for a year now. Before that, I was full-time and then part-time. I started out as part-time. I got really lucky and got a 25-hour position. Before that, I worked at Clinique for a year. And I only did that because I was trying to get to Mac, which was like right across the fucking hallway in Belk. I just remember being at Clinique and being so depressed. I'm like, dude, that is where I belong. I don't belong over here. And nothing against Clinique. I fucking love it. I still wear a lot of their stuff. Great skincare, by the way. But, you know, if you work somewhere, you know it's not for you. Like, look at me. Do I look like I work at Clinique? I don't, okay? So I just knew that I always belonged at Mac because they let you express yourself. You can be whoever you want to be. You can have fucking pink hair. You can pierce your whole face, tattoos. You can be whatever you want, and you also don't have to do certain styles that everyone else does. You can kind of like create your own artistry skills at the counter and then use them. You don't have to be like this person and that person at the counter, which is why I love it. I did go to basic training when I first started, which is like a week program that they send you to in another state. And they teach you like the basics of Mac, like the right way, the wrong way to do this, customer service stuff. But that was, like I said, almost 3 years ago. They don't really teach you a lot of ways to do makeup, like skills, if that makes sense. So someone said, let's see, Emily Cogan said, what inspires you the most when it comes to makeup, and why is makeup one of your passions? So what inspires me the most when it comes to makeup, I would have to say, is definitely artistry. I've always been like super artistic. I went to hair school because I loved to do hair at the time. I've always really been drawn to makeup and like editorial stuff and like bridal makeup and stuff. I think the thing that inspires me the most about makeup is that you can you can play around with the colors, you can enhance your features. If there's something that you don't like about yourself, you can change it with makeup. I just really enjoy it because it's like super fun, and it's just fun to see the outcome of different looks, and it's fun to see someone's face smiling, cheesing from ear to ear after you do their makeup and they actually feel beautiful for once. That is what inspires me the most. Okay, so someone said, what is my favorite brand for brushes? Honestly, I've used quite a variety of brushes, and I'd have to say MAC just because the quality of them is amazing. It's made with real hair. The quality of them are amazing and they last for a very long time. They are a bit pricey. That is the only downfall. I've heard a lot of great things about Sigma brushes. I also have some Morphe brushes, which those are very, very good as far as price point. They are mostly made with synthetic hairs, which is still good, but it's not like my fave. So yeah, I'd probably have to say MAC for that. So someone said, Tila Vega, are you married? If so, how long have you been married? I am married. Almost 3 years now. So Jamie said, it's about your body art. What is your first tattoo and what is it you like most about getting tattoos? So my first tattoo, obviously I can't like show you because it's like impossible, but it's like 2 Japanese symbols on the inside of my leg, and it means to conquer your agony, which means whatever hardships you're going through, whatever problems you're going through, always just remember that you can make it through and just to be strong. I got those when I was literally 18, I think a week after I turned 18. It was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. If I could go back now, I probably wouldn't have gotten Japanese symbols, just because if a Japanese person looks at me, they're gonna be like, what? And I think of that now, but I didn't think of that when I was 17. She said, what do you also like most about getting tattoos? I think the thing that I like most about getting tattoos is, like I said, self-expression and individuality. A lot of people, especially where I'm from in the South, don't agree with tattoos. However, I've noticed that over the past like few years, a lot of people are starting to warm up to it. I've even had like 80-year-old women come to me and like, I love your artwork. It's so beautiful. If I could do it again, I would have done it when I was younger too. And it's just like funny to me because when I was little growing up, I mean, getting tattoos was like trashy and the devil and like stupid shit like that. But I feel like as long as you're not necessarily getting like devil inspired artwork on you, it's fine. I mean, be yourself. And I know it's like a touchy subject for some people, I've heard that it's against God to get tattoos and stuff. I don't know if that's necessarily is true. And I'm definitely not trying to go against God, obviously, but I'm just a very artsy person, and I've always been interested and intrigued by tattoos and people that have tattoos. I just think it's so beautiful, and especially it's really awesome if you get them with a very good meaning behind it. So moving on, Kelly Can said, what's your favorite foundation, eyeshadow, concealer, and highlighter? I mentioned all of those previously. So Maggie 5 Carats said, what is your current favorite mask and or moisturizer? This is crazy because I'm actually going to New Orleans tomorrow to Lush Cosmetics to get my mask that I've been out of. And for the love of me, I cannot remember what it is. It starts with an M. I'm actually going to show you because you've got to try it, especially if you're located around a Lush. I don't know if they ship it or not, being that it's all of their cosmetics and stuff is handmade. And most of it can't reach like a certain temperature. So I'm going to go on my Facebook because I did upload a picture of it saying how much I enjoyed it. Oh my god, I found it finally. Mask of Magnanimity. Magnanimity. I'm just going to show you. That is the name of it, and it is effing amazing, okay? You've got to try this if you have not already, and it's not that expensive. It's, I think, under $15, and you get like a tub of it, like this big. So definitely try that. And my favorite moisturizer would have to be the Lancome Benefit Multivital. It has the SPF in it. You definitely need to try that if you haven't already. I love it. Let's see, Maggie 5 Coats also said, if you could only buy or use one makeup line for the rest of your life, which would it be? Golly, that's a hard one because I literally have all types of brands. Oh, damn. That really just made me think. All in all, I'd probably have to be MAC, honestly, just because they have such a wide variety of shit and I love them, and that's so hard. Like, no one's ever asked me that. So the Peachy Nico said, my question for your question and answer is, what is the advice that you have for those of us who like to work at a beauty store like Sephora, Ulta, or MAC? I know you may not know everything, but I just want you to give it. So I've never applied at Sephora or Ulta, so I'm not sure how their hiring process works, but at MAC, I know that you have to bring in a resume. Sometimes they'll give you an application depending on like which counters and locations and stuff, but I know at our counter, you have to bring in a resume. And it's also important to probably like attach a portfolio just so, you know, we can see where you are at makeup and like your techniques and, you know, how good they are, just so they can kind of get a feel of like how you do makeup. I would definitely recommend attaching pictures of your portfolio or a picture of yourself so they can get a visual of you and your work. So Susie Montiel said, what is your favorite makeup YouTuber? I would probably have to say Jaclyn Hill, just because she's came so far with her YouTube career and makeup and everything, and she started literally from the bottom, and she just really inspires me to be positive and to be better and to just like enjoy the ride of just starting out and then to eventually growing bigger. So I would definitely have to say Jaclyn Hill. There are a lot of other people that I really love, but I think she's probably the favorite. So MaryAnn6907 on Instagram said, what is your nationality? I am American. Some people think I am from a different country. I wish I was. But I'm just American. My mom's family is from France. You know, they're really Cajun. They're all in Louisiana. And then my dad's family is from Ireland. So B. Durnall said, my question is, what is your favorite makeup products from a drugstore, brand, or product in general? To be honest with you, I don't want to say the wrong thing, and it's probably bad, but I have not had that many experiences with drugstore makeup just because I'm always so like sketched out about stuff, because in the past I've bought plenty of stuff and it hasn't came to part with like stuff from Sephora and Ulta. There is a lot of good drugstore stuff to buy. I just have not played around with it. I pretty much live at Sephora and Ulta. So that is where I get like 95% of my products. So unfortunately, I cannot tell you a brand. I do know that NYX obviously is a really good brand to use that comes from the drugstore. So I definitely check that out if you haven't already. So Annika Jean said, my question is, with so many people bullying and being mean on social media, were you ever anxious or worried about starting a channel and the response that you would get? Any tips you could give someone who wants to start a channel? So I've gotten like 2, maybe 3 negative comments, and honestly I think one was someone that I probably knew that was just being a bitch or something. The main thing that I would tell you is when you're putting yourself out there on YouTube and Instagram and stuff and expecting feedback, you're gonna get feedback, and a lot of it is gonna be positive, but there are gonna be some people out there that just don't really appreciate what you're doing. They can't grasp the whole concept of why you're doing it and why you're helping people. They just think that, you know, you're trying to be better than this person and you're trying to tell people how to wear their makeup and what to do. They're looking at it the negative way, which, like I said, is a very, very small portion of the people that are going to be watching your videos and stuff. So I would have to say my advice to you is, if you ever do get a negative comment or if you ever do get someone that's being mean to you, fucking delete their comment. Block them. Don't even acknowledge what they're saying, because literally what they're saying has nothing to do with where you're going in life and what you're representing. You're representing being motivation for, you know, young girls around the world that don't know how to do makeup, people that are wanting advice. I would just say focus on the positivity, and when you focus on the positivity, I'm sorry, all the negativity is just gonna go out the window and you're not even gonna give a fuck. So yeah.
The haters, and move on.
Kate Fraley 25 said, tell us a little bit about your tattoos. They're badass. Okay, so this whole sleeve is pretty much dedicated to my husband. As you can see, it says till death do us part. And I got this about 4 months after me and Ryan got married. That is the only reason why I got it, was because we're already married. I probably wouldn't recommend doing something like this when you're dating, just saying. Right here is an anchor that also has the time 6 o'clock. That is the time that we got married. And I made it an anchor just because Ryan is what keeps me grounded. I just recently got this flower as a filler. It doesn't really mean necessarily anything. I wanted to do yellow just because I want to step out of my comfort zone. I normally do dark colors, as you can see. Right here is a line with a crown on it. The name Ryan means little king, which is why I got the crown. And of course the lion represents, you know, bravery and loyalty and, you know, honesty and just strength. So that's what I see when I look at Ryan. So I just wanted to incorporate all of that into my sleeve. Some people think I'm probably crazy for doing it, but when you really love someone, you do crazy stuff. This flower right here, I got probably like 4 years ago. It really needs to be touched up. The person that did it, her style looks kind of like faded. She did great lines, but this doesn't necessarily mean anything. When I was 18 or 19, I got this. It says no regrets, because I believe you should live your life without having any regrets. Down here, this is so funny. It's a phoenix. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's kind of like awkward, but it goes like down right here. I haven't got this finished yet because it hurts like shit. And I also got Ryan's birthday right here. I also have a tattoo on my back, which is going to be really hard to get to show. And I also have the Bible verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that is on my side. I do have a lot of plans for like the rest of my body, and it's literally probably 100 different things. I'm not even going to go into that because this video is already long as fuck. But I will be getting another one in September, and you will see what it is. And I'm going to be getting it on this arm right here. So Tracy Branch Agency, what up Tracy, said, how did you decide which looks to do? Do you go with the trends or do you just come up with new ideas? I typically go with trends, and I get my inspiration through like Instagram, through like Mac. But honestly, sometimes I'll just be sitting in front of the mirror and I'm bored and I'm just like, let's play around today. For example, today, I don't ever wear green. Like, have you ever seen me wear a green eyeshadow? You haven't, because I haven't done it. I just felt like doing that. So I would say it's kind of 50-50. Kelly Can says, what is your absolute favorite makeup item in each category? Foundation is Estee Lauder Double Wear. Blush, I would have to say MAC Melba blush. And highlighter, of course, is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. Marina said, what is your favorite band? Oh my god. That's so hard to think of because I listen to a million different things. The band that I probably listen to the most is like Citizen Cope and Third Eye Blind. I love like the really mellow rock versions of stuff. I love really mellow like rock, almost sad and depressing, if that makes sense. It's so fucking weird, but like I've always just loved like sad rock songs. So the Chandra D said, what inspired you to be different? Your style is so edgy and I love it. I would love to know all the random things that inspire you. So I'd say what inspired me to be different. I've always been into like, since I was little, I've always been into like rock music, and some other things that inspire me would be like 90s grunge era. I fucking love that, like the chokers and the dark makeup, the outfits. I feel like that is like where I gravitate more when I look at the past and when I look for like clothing inspiration. And also I feel like there's a small part inside of me that is like secretly gothic. I love black, I love metal music, I love tattoos, and just like everything. I feel like half of me is girly and half of me is secretly like wanting to be part of a 90s undercover like girl rock band or something. That's what I see myself. So I believe that is the majority of the questions, if not almost all of them. A lot of them were the same ones over and over again, so I just went through them very quickly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and getting to know me, and I'm so glad that I decided to do this. I really hope that you can kind of feel somewhat more connected to me now versus just doing like makeup tutorials and shit. So yeah, and as you know, if there's anything that you ever want to ask me that you didn't get a chance to, definitely feel free to do it, because you know that you can talk to me. I'm always going to answer back. I'm always going to comment back. 90% of the time I'm going to comment back unless I honestly just see that you didn't comment. So yeah, definitely comment if you have any questions. And for those of you that did participate in this, for asking questions and stuff, thank you so much for allowing me to do this video. So I will see you guys in my next video, which will hopefully be up in a few days. I'm going to New Orleans tomorrow with my friend Malika, and we're gonna vlog it. So for those of you that have never been to New Orleans, or if you just want to see what we'll be up to, then definitely tune in for my next tutorial. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for the support. Bye.